start of a two-city, six-game road trip, and interleague play continues for the Bucks. We're back in Houston, Texas for the first time in a couple of years. Daikin Park, home of the Houston Astros. Roof is closed, thankfully, as the Pirates again begin a two-city, six-game road trip. Greg Brown, Neil Walker, and Hannah Mears will be along. The Pirates sweeping the last American League team they played at home, the Minnesota Twins. So they're playing well, Neil, and as they take on this team, it's good to see the guy that returned to the lineup on Sunday, talking about Ryan O'Hearn.
Yeah, he's a big boost to this offense. He is the guy in the middle of this lineup that's not just a force, but he lengthens it more than anybody else. He gives you good at-bats against both lefties and righties. He's just a steady presence that really takes the pressure off all the other guys around him.
Neil, this was his first at-bat after more than 2 weeks off on the injury list for that quad injury, and he launches that home run 8th of the year. He's 10th in the National League in hitting overall. You talk about lengthening the lineup. He'll be at first base tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as Spencer Horwitz will be the DH. We'll get to the lineup. That'll be important because who's on the mound for Houston? It's Mike Burrows, whom the Pirates drafted a few years ago. They made the big trade over the winter. Burrows has struggled for the most part this year.
Yeah, he's had a tough first two-plus months of the season since joining the Astros, and but the last 5 times out, 4 of those 5 times out, he's gotten his team into the 7th inning and given them a chance. So the numbers are somewhat indicative, but it has been a really tough start to begin with. The opponents have really been stacking their lineups with lefties, as we'll see tonight, with 7 of 9 lefties in the Pirates lineup, and have been doing a really good job against Mike Burrows. He's done a nice job against righties, but as I said, teams are stacking those lefties and having a lot of success.
Well, speaking of that, a couple of guys that will bat from the left side, Brandon Lau and switch hitting Jake Mangum. They were 2 of the 3 acquired from Tampa Bay. It was a 3-team deal. So far, the Pirates have made out brilliantly in this one.
Yeah, they certainly have. All 3 of these guys have been mainstays on this club and helping get them to where they are right now, and are going to be really integral pieces as this season moves along. So that trade is looking very good right now, but still a lot of baseball to be played, Greg.
Yeah, a lot of baseball to be played, and the first of 3 here in Houston. And we're going to talk, we come back, the big bopper in the Astros lineup and one of the top hitters in all of baseball, Yordan Alvarez. We'll talk about him and more as we continue from Houston, Texas.
That's fine. The walks have been, that's okay as well in those 2 starts, but as you mentioned at the bottom of the screen there's 36 walks across the season. That's something that when it continues to add up, it hasn't been a great recipe for success, especially in the ERA category.
He'll be tested against some of these guys in this Astros lineup, in particular, a guy that has been just dominating against American and National League pitchers this year, Yordan Alvarez, the veteran designated hitter.
There has been no answer from opponents against Yordan Alvarez this season. The 20 home runs in the season, tied for second most, which is actually pretty amazing. He's not first, but he's hitting .301, actually hitting better against left-handers than right-handers. But boy, has he been good, and he's going to be a guy that you're targeting to don't let do anything against you tonight.
Time to take off against the Houston Astros.
6, commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2, check ignition, and may God's love be with you.
There he is, getting ready to make his start, his 12th as a member of the Houston Astros, Mike Burrows. We saw those splits earlier. He's really struggled here at Daikin Park this season. Pirates lineup, Spencer Horwitz will DH, then Brandon Lau and Brian Reynolds last almost 30 games, a .960 OPS. Ryan O'Hearn, talked about him. Nick Gonzalez hit his first home run of the season the other day. O'Neal Cruz in center, Endy Rodriguez catches, Jake Mangum in right, Jared Triolo at short. And just about ready for baseball here, indoors Daikin Park, the former Enron initially, and then for a long time Minute Maid. And Mike Burrows, the 26-year-old from Waterford, Connecticut. First pitch swinging. Horwitz, 97 from Burrows.
And for Burrows, you're going to see him sit around 95, 96 for most of the evening, and against the lefties, it's mainly going to be fastball changeup. Although the last time out, really mixed in that breaking ball quite a bit.
0-1 fly ball to center field, and Jake Myers is there. Routine play for the center fielder. He's flanked by Taylor Trammell and Cam Smith. Isaac Paredes is at third. Jeremy Pena is the shortstop. Bryce Matthews continues to fill in at second base for the injured Jose Altuve. Christian Walker at first, and Christian Vasquez has started 21 of 28 games since Yainer Diaz was placed on the injured list. And now Brandon Lau playing in his 800th major league game tonight. And for Mike Burrows, drafted in the 11th round by the Pirates in 2018. 5 years later, underwent Tommy John surgery.
Well, 5-pitch mix for Burrows, as we became accustomed to in a Pirates uniform. 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, slider, and curveball. And as we mentioned, teams have been stacking their lineups with left-handers against him in the early part of this season. And he's done a nice job against right-handers, but these lefties have really given him a hard time through the first 2+ months of the season.
You know he's stoked tonight. 1-2 strikes. Lefties hitting .324 against Burrows this year. Righties .232. That changeup was such a good pitch for him. Those numbers, Neil, I guess would indicate that that's maybe not as consistent with that pitch.
I would venture to say he's probably not throwing it for strikes. As you saw that one kind of fade non-competitively in a 2-strike count. That, for me, when I watched Mike Burrows in a Pirates uniform, was always a really good pitch for him to get back into counts. 1-0, 2-1, 0-0 even, maybe second time through the order. Wasn't necessarily as much of a strikeout pitch when you get guys into 2-strike counts, but a very effective pitch when he's around the zone or very close to the zone against those left-handers especially.
So we saw back-to-back changeups. Both were not, as you say, competitive. One way outside, one way inside. The slider is pulled foul by Lau. Popped up toward the seats. Just out of reach for the left fielder Taylor Trammell.
Just had a play on it. Well, this will be a fun little road trip here, Greg. You're hoping a positive way for the Pittsburgh Pirates after sweeping the Minnesota Twins this last weekend and getting a day off yesterday here in Houston.
The Astros have won 7 of their last 10. The Pirates 3 in a row, of course. The sweep of the Twins and going 5-2 on the road trip. The homestand, correction, 4-2 on the homestand against. Ball bounced past the pitcher, shortstop there. The Cubs and Pirates split that 4-game series, and the Pirates swept Minnesota. Now time for the Penn West University stat of the day. MLB leaders in on-base percentage. Nick Kurtz talked about Yordan Alvarez, Mike Trout third, James Wood, Shohei Ohtani, and Brian Reynolds. 403 on-base percentage for Brian Reynolds. Been tremendous.
Well, we've talked about it so much in the past couple years. Typically, when June starts to roll around, is when Brian Reynolds really starts to swing the bat well. And once again this year, as you mentioned, the last couple weeks, he has been on fire and getting on base at a very high clip.
Reynolds, the game-winning home run, the walk-off on Friday night against the Twins after the Pirates split the 4-game series against the Cubs, sweeping Minnesota. So they've won 6 of their last 8. O'Hearn would be next. Of course, one of the things we've seen from Reynolds almost since the start of the season is how those walks have risen.
I think he's up to like 42 now.
Seeing the ball so well.
Yeah. And you haven't seen him. You haven't seen the at bats. You know, you'd see him every once in a while the past couple of years. Feel like he's putting a little extra pressure on himself to drive in runs and to make things happen. He has not been doing that whatsoever this year. He's been very much taking what he's given, passing the torch per se. If he doesn't get anything to hit, and that's what's led to that over 400 on base percentage. And there's another walk.
Well, last year, Ryan Reynolds drew 57 walks.
He's already at 42.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now 43. That brings up the man we focused on in our open, Ryan O'Hearn. 10th in the league and hitting at .294. And one of the things that we talked about last year with Burroughs was how he was susceptible to the long ball. He gave up 13 home runs last year in 96 innings. He's given up 13 already in 63 innings this year.
And 9 of those 13 have come against left-handed hitters. And of course, this ballpark, especially down the line, straight down the left field line, and really that right field foul pole to the right center field is a very, very friendly spot to hit the baseball in the air in this ballpark.
Still 0-2. Rookie umpire Louis Krupa behind the plate. Chris Cugione is the crew chief. David Rackley, Nestor Saya, the other umpires.
One of note, this Houston Astros team defensively has been one of the top in all of baseball in fielding percentage, and has done a very nice job on the defensive side of the ball. Only 27 and 34 in the record category this season, but they've come alive of note of recent, as you mentioned, Greg.
Yep. Trammell makes the catch, so the 2-out walk, and now we'll see how Bubba Chandler handles the Astros. To the bottom of the first inning here in Houston, Texas. Jeremy Pena will be leading things off. The lineup includes Yordan Alvarez, the DH, Christian Walker at first base. Isaac Paredes on Sunday collected his 500th career hit. Taylor Trammell, Cam Smith, Jake Myers, followed by Bryce Matthews and Christian Vasquez. Against Bubba Chandler, his 12th start of the year. Well, that's great to see. And if they could just gotten it out, that would have been even better. The fact that it was one pitch, looked like it was going to be the one pitch out, but it snuck past Gonzalez and Triolo. A desperate throw to first. Infield hit Pena.
Just a perfectly placed ball right here. I don't know if there's anybody that's going to make that play with the speed of Pena getting down the line. But both guys gave it a good effort. If you're going to beat this Houston Astros team, you're going to have to go through the two-headed monster of Yordan Alvarez and Christian Walker. And here comes one of those guys right now.
A 6'5" slugger. In the air to left, deep. My gosh. Oh, 2-run homer, 2-0 Stros. His 21st.
Well, 2 pitches, 2 runs for the Astros. Yordan Alvarez, one of the best hitters in all of baseball, and showing it right there. Power to all fields. And that's going to get hit no matter the velocity with guys like Alvarez at the plate. The middle part of the plate just down, right where lefties like it. Of course, that short porch in left field, that's probably leaving 99% of the ballparks, unless it's 2-0.
Well, how do you do?
And the Car Shield numbers for Bubba, this is 12 start, just under a 5 ERA, 52 innings, 52 strikeouts, and those 36 walks. And it is so interesting, Greg, when you really dive into Bubba Chandler's numbers and what lefties and righties have been doing against him, there's very few numbers against him in the hit category that are above, 250. You'd think that you'd see one side, lefties or righties, maybe having more success against the fastball or the slider, and he's throwing a lot more changeups than we've seen to the left-handed batters and more sliders to the right-handed batters to go along with that four-seam fastball. But he has been beat up by the long ball a little bit this year. That one right there is his 8th given up going into this 12th start.
So 2-2 on Christian Walker. Infield hit home run. That's the first out. Neil, what are tonight's keys to the game presented by your Western PA Buick dealers?
Yep, the Buick keys to the game. Efficient Chandler. We saw 2 swings at the first 2 pitches. And if that continues, he's typically going to have a little more success than he did those first 2 batters and pick up the slack. Connor Griffin on the IL. Somebody's going to have to step up and provide some defensive and offensive relief with him being out for the minimum, at least those 10 days. Well, I guess it would be 9 or 8 days at minimum with the off day yesterday and not playing on Sunday.
Ball 1 on Isaac Paredes. One ball, 1 strike. In on him and pulls it foul. 98 miles an hour. It is 237 average with 6 home runs. Another and third baseman. There've been all kinds of rumors over the offseason that Astros were looking to deal him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Isaac Paredes. Now 3-2. How about the 2 infielders in the Tampa Bay Rays lineup 3 years ago? Paredes, 31 homers, 98 runs batted in. And you know all about what Brandon Lowe did Tampa Bay. He's doing now with Pittsburgh. High pop. Stay in. And O'Hearn. Within Furniture and Mattress Pirates defense, just saw O'Hearn at first, Brandon Lowe at second, Jared Triolo the shortstop, Nick Gonzalez at third, Reynolds, Cruz, Jake Mangum in the outfield left to right, Endy Rodriguez catching Chandler. Jared Triolo, who played college ball at University of Houston, and O'Hearn, college ball at Sam Houston State, about an hour north of here. Grounded to O'Hearn. Well, after the infield hit in the homer, 3 quick outs for Chandler. It's 2-0 Stros.
At Giant Eagle. Welcome back. There's a look at Carmen Mlodzinski now in the bullpen, as it was announced he would move from starter back to reliever with the return of Jared Jones. And now he's off the restricted list for the Bucks and back and ready to pitch here in Houston. Carmen told us today that through this process of going back to the pen, he leaned a lot on a bit of everyone because he feels as though he could because of how good this culture for this team has been. He said this is a special team. He emphasized wanting to be a Pittsburgh Pirate because he truly does believe they have a chance to win here. He clarified he understood why the move was made, and now he's just excited to be back in a role he knows he has had success in before and help this team in any way possible. Brownie.
Hannah, thank you very much for the reporting there. There's a nice play by Paredes and on to Christian Walker. Infield hit for Nick Gonzalez.
This ball almost hits the bag. Gonzalez gets out of the gates pretty well, and Walker does a nice job staying on the base, but Nick sniffing that hit out. Nice job. Well, it's good to hear. It's good to hear the mindset of Carmen Mlodzinski. Greg, we've seen how efficient and effective and good he can be down in that bullpen, especially that stretch he had for basically half the season last year. You know you're not, as players, you know you're not always thrilled when situations like this arise, or you're maybe getting at bats taken away from you on the offensive side of things, or possible move out there. But fact of the matter is, he makes this team better in the role that he can provide down there. And not that he wasn't doing a fine job in the starting rotation, but I think he's going to be a huge boost for this bullpen, and it's good to see him in a good place right now.
And he'll start again. I mean,
there's no doubt.
No question about it. You don't go through a whole year with just 5 starters. He knows it. He was frustrated when he said what he said. He's a good guy. He's a good teammate, and it's just a shame that it happened as it did. I don't know if he'd say that he regrets what he did, but it's past, and as he told Hannah, he's ready to move on.
Yeah, and I think it'll be water under the bridge here the next time he toes the rubber and has a good outing, and we move on and we continue to play good baseball through this season.
Strike 3 called on Oneil Cruz.
He thought about tapping the helmet, and he might have been successful if he did, Greg. Yeah, you always got to be sure at this time of the game, too. We've seen the Pirates, not regularly, but probably too many times to count, lose their challenges early in the game, and I'm sure that was going through Oneil Cruz's head with that pitch right there from Burrows.
Andy Rodriguez, who's caught Burrows in the past, of course, and we always wonder this, Neil, does a catcher have maybe a bit of an advantage?
I believe so, yes. And having caught a little bit, especially in the pro level in the minor leagues, you have the access and the mindset of that's the same as the guy out on the mound. And of course, year to year you pitch a little bit differently, but Andy Rodriguez knows what Mike Burrows likes to throw in certain situations.
Fly ball to right center field, and he does have an advantage off the top of the wall. This is going to score a run. Andy Rodriguez into third base with a stand-up triple, and it's 2-1.
Oh, it looked like this ball was inches away from leaving the ballpark, Greg. Wait till we see this replay. That little cutout right in right center field by the 370 mark. I think he hit that little vertical
Pirates are going to challenge or at least ask for a review.
Oh, I think he hit that secondary
it's a home run.
Greg.
Let's listen. They're going to ask for a review.
The ball was left live in the plate.
That is a home run. Or should be.
You hear what Chris Guccione says? They think the mic cut out. HN Supermo look. Oh, I think so.
Sure did.
I think so. I think this could be a game-tying home run, but we'll see. We've been wrong plenty when it goes back to New York. Sometimes they see things we don't. Second base umpire David Rackley and the crew chief Chris Guccione. All the umpires. Yeah, Andy says it's a home run. It'll be his first of the year. And it'll be his first since September 22nd, 2023.
Jared's getting the cone ready.
Yeah. Get the cone ready. Get ready to hoist the cone, boys. They're going to look to see that side fence.
Call on the field has been overturned. It is a home run.
Home run, clear the deck, Andy Rodriguez. A cannonball coming a little bit late. It's a 2-2 ball game. His first home run in 3 years in the big leagues.
He hammered this one, Greg. Middle up, fastball. Top spun it just a little bit. And his first initial reaction was right. It was a home run. You'd love to see it. You mentioned how long it's been since Andy Rodriguez has hit a home run at the big league level. You got to feel happy for him.
And now Jake Mangum, a game-tying 2-run homer. Here he's watching it on the scoreboard. His 4th career home run. Now 0-2. And again, his first in the major leagues. There's another look. Tony Beasley, after the call was made, and he finishes up his home run trot. Mangum taps it to the right side, and that sneaks in. A little minor collision there with Christian Walker.
About as well placed as you can. Look at the big hole over there in the four hole. Christian Walker knows if he goes after this ball with the speed of Mangum, he's going to have to be getting rid of this ball immediately to a running over to first base Mike Burrows.
If Mangum takes off, always an issue, always an issue for the opponent to think about. He has 8 stolen bases and not a ton of opportunities for Mangum. He's getting more and more playing time lately.
He's 8 of 9 in the stolen base category, Greg.
And the batter, Triolo. Right side of the infield, wide open. With Mangum being held on there, and Bryce Matthews shaded over towards second. And there goes Mangum. Taken for a ball. He's got a stolen base. Pirates have been stealing a whole bunch lately. Mangum now has stolen a base in 3 consecutive games.
Well, it has to be stated that this is such a weapon. We mentioned Connor Griffin out. A lot of times teams are hesitant in that bottom part of the order. 8th, 9th hitters of stealing bases to potentially not turn the lineup over. But when you got the speed of a guy like Mangum, you almost got to just let him loose. If he feels like he can steal a base, let him have it.
Yeah, the Bucks steal a base. Now you steal a deal. Scan on screen for $25 off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Hannah, you watching? Ball 4.
I'm down here watching, Brownie, and I'm watching
Did you
a lot
get
of
the
good.
QR code?
I did see that.
Okay.
I did see that. I'm gonna have someone put that up again. I'm in need of an oil change. It's a good deal.
We kept it up there for you.
It was the perfect amount of time. That's a good deal, guys. Come on.
She was talking about, she had the weekend off, and she was saying that she needed an oil change.
There it is
She
again.
tried to grab her phone. There you
it.
go, Hannah. And anybody else. Get your Valvoline Instant Oil Change right there.
We'll
Yep.
scan it. We'll scan it right here
All right.
again, just for good measure.
That's good. Oh,
Yep. When I get back from Houston, you better believe what I'm doing.
Yep, we believe it. Well, that's funny. Mangum races off as the timeout was called for just a quick visit. And Burrows trying to figure out a way to get Spencer Horwitz first and second. And a strike.
Second time through the order here, and only the second inning for the Pirates after that answer back 2-run home run off the bat of Andy Rodriguez. Horowitz swung at the first pitch in his last at bat and flew out to center field.
Jackson takes. 2-2 game. Infield hit Gonzalez, and after the strikeout by Cruz, Andy Rodriguez, first home run of the season. Mangum the ground single to right, steals second. Triolo draws the walk. 2 walks for Burrows. That's hammered towards center field, sending Myers back to the track. And Mangum will tag and move up. 2 outs.
Spencer hit this ball well, just couldn't split those outfielders. That little left center field nook out there is a tough place for left fielders to navigate. If that ball takes you all the way back there. There it is right there by the Pirates bullpen.
Yeah, Horowitz hit that ball 99 miles an hour, 366 feet. And now Lau. He gets under it and pops it way up there for the Raptors. Cam Smith makes the catch. 2-run homer, Andy Rodriguez. First pitch, ball 1. Bubba Chandler. Cam Smith, Andy Rodriguez, his battery mate. Gets it even again. Cam Smith, 6 home runs on the year. 6, 7, 8 now against Chandler.
And this is the part of this Astros lineup you got to take it. You got to take advantage of. You really got to shut them down. Turning over the lineup, as I mentioned, toward Alvarez hitting in the 2-hole, and Christian Walker hitting in the 3 spot is how this Astros team scores their runs.
Pitch to Cam Smith, up and in. And a 4-pitch walk.
Now Andy with that big home run last inning, Greg. We saw Nick Gonzalez get his first of the year just 1 game ago. I'm going to go ahead and make a little prediction that Jared Triolo is going to get his.
Oh, I like
the
it.
Houston University native down here in Houston in this on this little road trip here to Houston. Like to see him get 1 on the board.
Jake Myers. By the way, that the home run by Andy Rodriguez means that's what, 9 straight games the Pirates homered in. Longest streak in 3 years for the team. That's a foul ball by maybe an inch. Almost hit the bag. Third base umpire Nestor Saya right there.
Ooh, that is close. I'm going to make a prediction also that the next instant replay move is going to be being able to challenge ground balls down the baseline. Maybe some sort of sensor in the base, Greg, that if it hops over there, you can tell.
Oh, that's, yep.
Right?
Technology
that makes
there,
sense,
sure.
right?
Yep. Tennis-like. Oh, bad looking swing and a miss there. Didn't expect that. 2-seamer. Jake Myers.
Look at the ride on this one.
Cam Smith has 7 stolen bases in 8 tries. Dave Clark, first base coach, old buddy, former Pirate, the great Dave Clark. 2-2, there goes the runner. It's a ball, and it's a stolen base. Breaking pitch. Smith steals his 8th.
Well, and he gets rid of this ball pretty quick. He, take a look at how close this was to hitting Bubba Chandler, Greg.
Oh my gosh. Didn't realize it. Wonder if Ryan Domit's watching somewhere.
Dewey. That's my guy.
Fly ball to left. Racing over Reynolds. The first out. There's the steal.
Oh my
Jeez,
goodness.
I had no idea it was that close. Who was the pitcher that got plunked? Sean Graybo?
Yeah, I think it was.
By Ryan Domit. Pop up. O'Neal Cruz. 2 outs. Two outs. Christian Vasquez comes to the plate. This will be big here for Chandler, of course. A 4-pitch walk to lead off. I mean, Andy Rodriguez just homered for him to tie it. Vasquez hitting .246 this year, a career .323 hitter against Pirates pitching. The veteran backstop. Vasquez is also 9 for 21 with men in scoring position this year. 429. He's been thriving in these situations. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bubba just missing with that slider. He's missed it a handful of times now. Just starting it. It has so much movement to it. He almost has to start it in the middle, inner third of the plate. And there's another one. That's a breaking ball this time. In order for it to stay on that outer edge. And as hitters, when you identify, especially that first time through the order, that a guy's having a hard time, you're almost, if you're not in a 2-strike situation, you're almost shutting it down completely and not swinging at it until the guy can get it back on track.
Falls behind him now, 3-1.
And again, not the spot in the Astros line. If you want to give any sort of free pass, turning it over to Pena and Alvarez, 1-2.
Into right field, Mangum back. Well, Chandler gets out of it after the leadoff walk, and it's 2-2 after 2.
Time now for our Miller Lite moment. 2 moments from our homestand. Brian Reynolds walk-off on Friday night, followed by Spencer Horwitz leadoff homer the very next day in the very next at-bat. Now, Reynolds has had a lot to say this season about Horwitz's bat drops being respectfully disrespectful. When I asked Spencer what he thought about Brian's walk-off homer, he said, he stole my move, but I'll let him borrow it, only for walk-offs. Brian rebutted saying, you were in Double-A when I was hitting walk-offs with that move years ago. Brian said Spencer's look back to the dugout the other day was copying him, kind of how a little brother copies a big brother, Brownie. So
like
it's been a big debate. Who did it first? Who did it best? But Brian Reynolds did say his actual celebration after the walk-off, that's being respectfully disrespectful.
That's good.
There's Spencer Horwitz next to Chris Truby. And Reynolds gets under that one. Pops out to Trammell. Yeah, Horwitz. It's something special about his little bat drops. O'Hearn flied out in the first. Xfinity batting stats. Reliable Wi-Fi at 1 price.
It would be fun. It would be fun as the season goes along, Greg, if Horowitz hits about 25, 30 of those, and we can rank.
Yeah. Yep.
We can rank most respectfully disrespectful to least respectfully disrespectful. There's a good changeup. As I mentioned, a pitch Burrows likes to get back into counts with. That in a 2-0 count. Very well placed. as a hitter, you're looking for that fastball in that 2-0 count or 3-1 count. That just throws you off just a little bit. Really nice job right there. Wow.
Why is he such a good hitter? What is it about his approach?
He's just so, Greg, he's just so short. In this day and age of hitters really trying to get big and create leverage in your swing, when you watch Ryan O'Hearn take batting practice, there's look at the movement. It's very minimal. The hands aren't going way back. It's short to the ball and long through the ball, and that helps you when you get jammed a little bit, not get really jammed and keep that ball closer to the barrel, just like he did right there. It's kind of an old school style of hitting, in as I mentioned, in a day and age where guys are trying to really get their hands loaded way back to create power. He doesn't need to. He's a big, strong guy, and he's figured it out a little later in his career than most, but boy, has he been really good at being consistent with that approach.
That's grounded right to Jeremy Pena. Room service double play. That's 3 outs, Mike. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates. Because life, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. And by Cohen Markets, learn how to save 20 cents off per gallon every time you visit. And we're visiting Houston, Texas, and here's Bubba Chandler back out there, second go-round for these Astros batters. Jeremy Pena, infield hit in the first, aboard when Alvarez homered. Seen this happen a few times with Andy Rodriguez as he tries to frame these pitches that the pitch themselves, the baseball doesn't stick in the mitt.
I tell my 8U baseball kids they got a frog in their glove when that happens, Greg. Got to get it out of there.
Get it out of there. 1-2 now. Chandler struck out Christian Walker, his first K of the night in the first inning. These guys don't walk much, these Astros. 200 bases on balls, third fewest in the American League.
Yeah, it's an interesting way they score their runs. Obviously, as I mentioned several times, Yordan Alvarez and Christian Walker do a lot of the damage, and Pena having a nice season as well. But you're missing the second baseman.
Altuve.
Sorry, you're missing Altuve, and that's going to hurt a lineup a little bit. They're not getting on a huge clip. They're not slugging across the board all that much, and they're not running all that much. So, they're really at bay to holding teams to call it 3-4 runs or less on a nightly basis. And they've been able to kind of tread water. I mentioned 27 and 34 to this point, but boy, over the course of a long season, that's a hard recipe for scoring runs and winning games when pitching may not be doing well or hitting may not be doing well.
Trying to keep this guy off the bases for a number of reasons. Already mentioned that. A broken bat, bouncer. Oh, he's going to wind up at second base. As Nick Gonzalez not able to field it. See how they score it.
Pena gets out of the box real well. This is going to be a tough play. I thought he was going to have some trouble, and Gonzalez just sneaks just to the right of his glove. You thought for a minute that maybe Pena wasn't going to get to second base, but that ball, having not been touched, makes its way too far down that left field line.
Goes as a two-base error. Jeremy Pena aboard, and here's Yordan Alvarez once again. Turn 29 toward the end of this month. Pena, infield hit and reaching on an error. Pirates defense has been an issue. Not just the errors themselves, but plays that just aren't made. Miscommunication, balls dropping, base runners advancing.
This right here might be a unintentional walk.
Yeah, 4-pitch walk. Sets up the double play, though. Christian Walker, no day at the beach. All strikes for Chandler. Second walk. 7 3-ball counts. Don Kelly, his club, just committed its 37th error. Team error. Ball 1. Only 3 teams in the National League have committed more errors than the Pirates. The Giants, the Marlins, and the Nationals. Washington Nationals a whopping 52 errors. Pirates now at 37.
And that number definitely has to be cleaned up going into the second part of the season, Greg. If the Pirates continue to score runs, you can mask that to a certain degree, but when it rears its ugly head at certain times, it makes life very difficult. We're going to have Murphy head to the mound and have a conversation with Bubba.
A former Astros pitching coach back in Houston. And we'll let you know that there's a no fees promotion going on. All Pirates tickets now through this Friday, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates, kicking off the summer with some great Pirates baseball. Get your tickets at pirates.com/no fees. So the fees taken off between now and Friday for the remainder of the season. And there's a fireworks night coming up on June 11th. We'll use it for that. 6:40 p.m. for the first pitch against the Dodgers. The Dodgers in town next homestand. Pirates.com/fireworks for that. Yep, you can use no fees for the remainder of the season, including that big post-game Zembali fireworks show. And Bill Murphy back to the dugout. A 2-0 count on Christian Walker.
And this is where Bubba's two-seam comes into play. If he can get it on that inner half, that's your ground ball pitch. Change up.
And it's 3-0 on Christian Walker. Three-1. Base hit. Pena will be waved and will score, and it's 3-2 Stros.
Now the air to start this inning leads to this run right here. 3-1 count. Bubba goes with the slider. In a spot where Christian Walker can just yank it through that 6-hole. As we've seen this year, a lot of teams testing Brian Reynolds in that outfield when he gets the ball in his hands.
Still nobody out. First and second. Here's Isaac Paredes. Four RBIs for the third baseman. There's Astros 27-34 on the year. 5 back of the Mariners in the American League West. High pop. Infield fly is called if it's fair. Catch made by Nick Gonzalez. And one big out in the bottom of the third. Chandler will go after Taylor Trammell. Chandler's last start against the Cubs at PNC Park, 5 innings, 4 runs, 8 hits. He has not won, and the Pirates have not won a game he started since April the 17th. Seven straight team losses in his last 7 starts. Ball and strike.
Well play slider right there.
Change up that at times has been a good pitch for Chandler.
This would be a good time to execute that slider down below the zone that he got Trammell swinging at strike 1. If that's put in play, it's most likely a ground ball, possible double play.
Whoops. Wild pitch moves them up 90 feet.
Safe to say this one got away from Bubba. That's going to draw the infield in here, all 4 spots. Fortunately, Alvarez on third, probably not going on contact, or most likely not going on contact.
Big time strikeout there, ties him up with the 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Second out, the infield can move back.
That was probably his best pitch of the night right there, Greg, and a good time too.
HN Supermo look at it. Cam Smith walked on 4 pitches to start the second. Ground ball short, backhand Triolo, and on the first. A run in, unearned at that. It's 3-2 Astros. Welcome to the Toyota Rav 4th inning. Pirates down a run now, and O'Neill Cruz will lead off against Mike Burrows. Strike 1, struck out looking his first time up. Calls an early timeout. There we go, base hit for Cruz to start things off. Now, Andy Rodriguez coming up. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Break down that home run.
What a terrific swing, 101 off the bat. Just enough, and kept it just to the right of that vertical pole. See how excited he is. Get #1 in the category for Andy on the 26th season.
And a double play ball. Second time the Pirates hit into a double play in as many innings. That's Jeremy Pena. It was a little tricky hop. 2 outs.
Well, Burrows doesn't get a ton of ground balls, but his breaking ball and slider does get a little bit higher percentage of ground balls, and that's exactly what he was hoping for right there. As you mentioned, the second double play in as many innings.
Pirates hit into a lot of double plays. 54 now.
And I would say that's kind of, I'm thinking about across the board, a few of the knocks on the offense across the board. The strikeouts sometimes rear their ugly head, and then when the strikeouts aren't there, sometimes those double play balls seem to rear their ugly head.
Mangum is 2 for 2. And 54 double plays, the most in baseball. 2 more than the Dodgers.
And only 1 strikeout on the night for the Pirates, as you see Mangum go get this changeup and dump it into right field. Look for him to be taken off again in a 2-out situation with Triolo up.
Looking for 2-out lightning. Popped up and that'll be out of play, and Hannah has more on Jake Mangum, who's looking more and more comfortable the more he plays since coming off the injured list. Hannah.
Yeah, Brownie, he called that 3-hit game on Saturday a bit of a breakthrough game for himself. And of course, getting that first home run out of the way, he said, as a Pirate was great because of the slow start he had to the season. He did admit he was trying to overcook some things at the plate early in the year, trying to prove himself on a new team. But the last couple of games, he felt like he was able to slow things down, take a breath. And in typical Jake Mangum fashion, guys, as well, when he hit that homer, he knew it was gone, but he ran out hard just in case, because that's just who he is.
Yeah. Mangum certainly plays the game as hard as anybody. He was on the IL for a couple of weeks with a hamstring strain. Not even 2 full weeks, about 10 days. 0-2. Strike 3 called on Jared Triolo. Head to the bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Astros. Bottom half of inning number 4 here in Houston. And it is 3-2 Astros. And the bottom third of the order, Jake Myers. Strike 1. See if Chandler can have an uneventful inning. Bottom third of the order, gets that first pitch strike. There's a pop up. 2 pitches.
That's a good start.
1 out. And so, you know, get ahead of these hitters, Neil, right? And attack. And especially when you've got that Alvarez Walker looming.
Yeah, it's integral, Greg. You got to get strike 1. You can't constantly be in 1-0, 2-1 counts against big league hitters every time you roll out there. Oh wow, he didn't challenge that.
Yeah.
There
1-2.
you go.
Bryce Matthews.
Now that opens up so many different avenues for you as a pitcher, especially with upper 90s, 100-mile-an-hour fastball in your back pocket. That slider just off the plate comes into play. It's not going to get taken quite as much. Well, that's a good take right there.
LeBen Furniture and Mattress Strike Zone. 1-2 pitch.
Another good take. Wow.
2-2. That slider. I think they'd like Chandler to work a little bit quicker anyway. Get that pace going. Well, after jumping out in front, 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
It feels like he's just trying to be too fine with that slider. And again, when opposing hitters recognize that you're not able to get that slider on the plate, they're going to stop respecting it. They're going to make you until you get to 2 strikes. And although those are 2 really good takes by Matthews on the 0-2 and 1-2 slider, if you're not showing you're able to paint that or keep it on the plate, as soon as it comes out of their hand and you recognize it, they're just going to shut it down.
And a 3-2 fastball into center field, a base hit. There's a Christian Vasquez. As we mentioned earlier, no fees on all Pirates tickets through this Friday, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Kick off summer with some Pirates baseball. Get your tickets at pirates.com/no fees. Good through Friday, and buy tickets to any game the rest of the season with the no fees promotion through Friday. Christian Vasquez. Matthews dancing off the bag. Chandler steps off.
Matthews only one stolen base on the season. He's been caught twice.
First pitch strike on the slider. Out in front, 0-2. Really need a double play ball.
Yeah, I love that sequence right there. Slider away, painted, and took. Now you run that two-seam in on his hands. That typically is a pitch that gets, if it's put into play, is on the ground unless it's up in the zone. And especially with the slow-footed catcher Vasquez at the plate. Another good two-seam.
Trying to get a ball on the ground here against Vasquez, the 35-year-old veteran. Runner goes, and into right center for a base hit. First and third.
The veteran Vasquez, he knows that he's trying to run this two-seam in on his hands and gets a pitch up. As I said, if that's down in the zone, even though he stays inside of it, it's probably not hitting the air or on a line. Now you got to deal with the top of the order for the third time now. Jeremy Pena's been on base twice already.
Ball one. Thankful chase.
Yeah, Pena, tough guy to double up too. He knows if he just puts a ball in play, unless he hits it real hard on the ground, it directly at somebody, he's probably going to get this run in. I'm sure that's in the back of his mind when you see him wave at something like that.
Pena, who missed a bunch of time, has played only 23 games this season. Various injuries. And that is a foul ball. Which is a good thing. Run would have scored. Don't know that Gonzalez would have gotten the Speedy Pena, who last year finished second in baseball with 28 infield hits. Jake Mangum led the majors with 32 infield hits. Pena has one infield hit tonight. Mangum, 2 hits to right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Into left, coming on is Reynolds. Did he make the catch? No. The trap.
Go to second.
A base hit. Yeah, they got a runner at second. They'll get the force there. So it won't go as a base hit. It'll be an RBI fielder's choice. Pirates going to check. See if that was not a trap. Was it a catch? To a spot of the manager of the Astros. Pirates will not challenge. It is a trap. They get an out. Matthews scores. Look at Mangum racing in from right field. He's all over the place. Give Pena credit for an RBI. And 4-2 Stros. Reynolds in. And the out recorded. Astros lead by a couple. This Lou Gehrig Day, join the Pirates in the fight against ALS. Visit MLB-Together.com/4ALS to bid on the Pirates commemorative bat signed by Brian Reynolds. Join the fight against ALS today. And Brian Reynolds bat currently at $520. The only higher bids are the Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Gunnar Henderson, and Pete Crow Armstrong bats. In all of baseball, there is Brian Reynolds. You see everybody wearing number 4. 6th annual Lou Gehrig Day, and just raising awareness for that horrific disease, ALS. And baseball does a heck of a job.
Yep, they had a terrific pregame ceremony today here in Houston with some patrons with ALS, and of course it's just a horrible disease, and the awareness and the funds they're able to raise are obviously very important.
And a 4-pitch walk. Spencer Horwitz. Speaking of that, let's go down to Hannah with more.
With the aforementioned Lou Gehrig Day earlier today to help continue and raise awareness for ALS, Brian Reynolds and Brandon Lau, who spend their offseason in Tennessee, were sporting Tennessee Titans Tim Shaw jerseys pregame. Tim Shaw spent 6 years in the NFL, including 3 with the Titans as a linebacker and special teams ace. And just a month after he retired in 2014, he received his diagnosis. The Titans are getting prominent athletes to wear the jerseys today from Nashville, even just for a minute, in order to promote ALS awareness and Shaw's battle. So certainly nice to see those two do that pregame. Brownie, was a moment they were more than happy to be a part of.
That's good stuff there, Hannah, as Brandon Lau, the Pirates number 5, lined that ball foul. Leadoff walk to Horwitz. Baseball's been doing this for 6 years now. June 2nd chosen as the day. It was the anniversary of Lou Gehrig's promotion to the Yankees starting first baseman. He pinch hit June 1st, 1925. It began the streak with that pinch hit appearance. The streak of 2,130 consecutive games played. Became the starter the next day, June 2nd. Supplanting, of course, Wally Pipp. And it's the anniversary of his death, June 2nd, 1941. Iron Man, Lou Gehrig. That streak, of course, broken by Cal Ripken Jr. That record now 2,632, and that's, I think it's safe to say, is a record that absolutely will never be broken.
Never.
No way. Those players just don't play every day
I mean,
anymore.
that gentleman right there, I believe, has played in every single game this season.
Yeah, he's the current Iron Man of the Pirates, the current streak. He's played in 69, 70 now consecutive games, Reynolds, going back to last year.
Well, Lau gets himself into a 3-2 count here. Let's see if Don Kelly wants to push the envelope. We don't see Spencer Horwitz run a whole lot. But Burrow's not a huge strikeout pitcher as well.
Not going 3-2, struck him out. Third K. The Iron Man, Lou Gehrig, 17-year career, and the diagnosis came on his 36th birthday, June 19th, 1939. Played only a handful of games that year. Lou Gehrig Day, July 4th that year. They retired his number at Yankee Stadium. I always thought, Neil, that the year prior, when he started to notice things were slipping, he felt he wasn't the same guy. He must have had a bad year, 1938. He hit 295, 29 homers, drove in 114. That was a bad year for Lou Gehrig.
Gosh. Incredible, incredible career.
1 ball, 1 strike on Reynolds.
Reynolds walked in the first. He flew out to left field in the 3rd inning. Outfield playing him very deep.
Oh, line drive caught to first. The pick on the other end by Christian Walker to double up Horwitz. Paredes to Walker. Inning-ending double play. Well, double play. Paredes on to Christian Walker. Walker will be leading off this bottom of the 5th. Another look, the Reynolds line drive. Paredes up to get it. Nice little pick on the other end by Walker. He's so good defensively.
The only mistake here, I know Horwitz didn't get terribly far off first base, but especially with 1 out and a ball hit to that left side, you're probably not going first to third. You know, if that's hit to up the middle and it's snagged, or it's hit to right field on a potential first to third, you want to just be very careful with your secondary lead, not get too aggressive.
The pick. Double play. That's 3. Now the Pirates have hit into the last 3 innings.
No more of a rally killer than double plays.
So, you know, we've talked about mistakes on defense for the Pirates, and there's a mistake. Base running. Got to play clean regardless of the team you're playing. Especially here. This place has been a house of horrors over the years for the Pirates, though they have won 5 of their last 7 games played in this ballpark. And nice catch. Bartman's there. 1-2. Still 1-2 on Walker. Pirates are 36 and 73 all time here. Won 2 of 3 last time they were here 2 years ago.
That's kind of shocking, Greg. I mean, I can remember, you know, the stretch that I was here in, call it 10 to 15, when for most of that stretch the Astros were in rebuild mode and they were in the National League Central. They got beat up. I felt like we came in here and beat them up pretty good.
They were really bad here for a while. Overall, anywhere they played. They made that transition. Moved to the American League in 2013. Since then, the Pirates and Astros have split 18 games, 9 wins apiece. As Paredes calls time.
Well, I got to say, home plate umpire Louis Krupa has been doing a very, very good job to this point in the game. I've only seen maybe 2 pitches that have been just outside the zone that he's called strikes.
Wilbur Dotel up.
We last saw Dotel on Friday against the Twins, so he should be locked and loaded for multi-innings if called upon.
So Don Kelly and the Pirates have decided that Mlodzinski would not pitch tonight in long relief. Tomorrow's a Paul Skeens game. And then Jared Jones, and you know Jones is not going to go deep for a while. This ball's chopped to Nick Gonzalez, and Paredes is out number 2. Bubba Chandler looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. And Mlodzinski in the middle there between Mason Montgomery and Evan Sisk behind the pole. See if Chandler can get this final out and at least go 5 innings. The pitch count approaching 90. been an interesting outing for Chandler again. It's not as maybe sharp, consistent as he would like. Gave up the leadoff infield hit and the home run to Alvarez and quickly retired the next 3. A 4-pitch walk to start the second. And then retired the next 3. Unearned run in the 3rd. A run in the 4th and a 1-2-3 5th. 4-2 Houston. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by your Western PA Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Ryan O'Hearn leads off the 6th against Burrows.
This is where you want to get Burrows right here. This is the 70th pitch of the night. The Pirates' last 3 innings hit into 3 double plays. You're not able to get a pitch count up or push the envelope a little bit on him right here. He might get into the 7th inning or further.
But one thing to keep in mind too, by the way, you know who's activated today out of the bullpen for Houston? Josh Hader. Thanks a lot, Astros. Couldn't wait till after this series. So you better get your business done in the 8th, between now and the 8th. During the last break, Bubba Chandler hugs battery mate Andy Rodriguez, trying to encourage him. It looks like he is done as O'Hearn takes ball 3. Ball 4. Leadoff walk. There's a little bat flip there from O'Hearn. See if this doesn't start something for Pittsburgh. 4 walks for Burrows. Second time that O'Hearn has reached. Nick Gonzalez last time hit into the first of 3 double plays. Rodriguez hit into one in the 4th, and there's a bouncing ball into center field, a base hit, and it's 1st and 2nd. And O'Neal Cruz coming up.
Yeah, the exact start you're looking for. In the top of the 6th inning, Nick Gonzalez shoots this one right back up the box. You got O'Neal Cruz, nobody out. It looks like that's going to get the Astros bullpen moving a little bit.
Phone call went out to the bullpen just now. Whoa.
My.
That was a vicious swing. And hopefully an umpire felt it. Krupa.
This wasn't a get a base hit swing right here, Greg. This was a see if you can hit it off his face about 500 feet in right field.
One ball, one strike. Cruz 1 for 2. 13 homers coming in, tied for 8th most in the league. 41 ribbies, 6th highest total in the National League. And Enyel De Los Santos loosens for the Astros. Two and two.
A good take right here. As I mentioned, home plate umpire Louis Krupa having a good night so far. The balls and strikes category for both sides, honestly.
Fly ball right center field to the wall. How about a Cruz missile? Launch it in Houston. Pirates take the lead on O'Neill Cruz's 14th home run. Turns the scoreboard around. 5-4 Pirates.
14th homer and 44th RBI driven in on the evening. You just felt like this was going to be had to be a huge inning for this Pirates team to push Mike Burrow's pitch count up into a tight spot and a monster swing to flip this game on its head.
3-run homer for O'Neill Cruz.
Oh, and he knew it, Greg. I tell you what, that's a long way to hit a baseball when you know it.
That home run brought to you by UPMC.
Got to give credit to Ryan O'Hearn starting this inning off with a walk. And Nick Gonzalez with that base hit to put the pressure on Mike Burrows.
Two balls and a strike on Endy Rodriguez, who in the second tied the game at 2-2, his first home run of the season. Ball drops untouched as Paredes and Trammell can't get to it.
I'll take a look at this replay, Greg. The pitch before, he threw that same slider on the inner half, just about 3 inches further inside. This one catches probably the very inner edge of the plate, and O'Neill Cruz pulls his hands in, and as we know, when he barrels something and it gets in the air, it typically doesn't come back.
419 feet. Mitch Keller there. Rodriguez looking for some more pine tar. A walk, a single, and a homer to erase the 4-2 deficit. Three and two. Burrows might be delivering his very last pitch of the game. De Los Santos is up and ready. Still 3-2. Mike Burrows, his 12th start as a member of the Houston Astros. Last year with the Pirates was 2-4 with a 3.94 ERA. Another foul. Burrows, his ERA right now sits at 5.66. And Endy Rodriguez fouls off another.
Nice little battle right here. Burrows and Endy fighting off some good pitches. Let's see if he gets one in the meat of the zone here and do something with.
Another.
Tenth pitch of this at bat right here. Look at the curveball and off-speed usage. Only 2 fastballs in this entire.
Oh, what a bat that is.
And that's most likely, yes, it is going to do it for Mike Burrows on the day.
Burrows will not get out of the 6th. Came into this inning with a 2-run lead. And the Pirates have a man on, leading by a run, nobody out.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Lou Gehrig Day, the great Lou Gehrig, July 4th, 1939, at Yankee Stadium. Here we are, top of the 6th, 5-4 Pirates. And baseball honoring that number 4. And there goes the runner Rodriguez for second, and he's going to be there. Stolen base. Andy Rodriguez, second steal of the season.
A lot of times the best time to run if you're not a above average speed guy when a reliever comes in is that first pitch, and that's exactly what Endy does. Runs just well enough to beat this throw.
Daniel De Los Santos, first pitch in there for a strike and a stolen base. And now Mangum with the corners pitching way in. And he's going to bunt it anyway. Oh, what a bunt. And it's thrown away. Pirates get another run. Jake Mangum, more mayhem. Pirates lead at 6-4.
What a thing of beauty, Greg. Bunt situation after a stolen base by your catcher. And take a look at this pitch that he gets down. It's incredible and just deadens it. It's what you want to do if you're a batter with a runner on second base. You want to get it to third, but you don't want it to be too hard just in case they can make a play at third if your shortstop's shifting over. And at minimum right here, you're going to have man on third and less than 2 outs. All of a sudden, the pressure of the situation gets a bad throw, and he comes walking in.
Think about that. When you saw that pitch that he hit, that he was able to drop down for the bunt, and the third baseman and the first baseman are way in.
Well, that's a guy that's done it before. We've seen him just cause more and more havoc when he does stuff like this, or when he just tries to put the ball in play.
I love Kevin Young's nickname for him in spring training. Mangum Mayhem. Here's another look. AHN Supermo Paredes. Base hit RBI, base hit E5, no RBI, base hit E5, no RBI. Originally they gave him one, obviously not. And he was going to take off, then shut it down. And he'd have had it, and he knows it.
He looks a little tired. I'm actually surprised he's still standing on first base. Create more havoc.
Bunt hit. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Pirates lead by 2. Came into this inning trailing by 2. Neil Cruz, the 3-run homer, his 4th 3-run homer of the year. Disappointing at bat for Triolo, the strikeout. Stephen Okert, the lefty. Interesting that they brought in De Los Santos to face Mangum, not Endy Rodriguez, because De Los Santos has to face one more batter. And a pickoff at first. And Mangum knew it.
I thought he might take a chance in that last at bat, and it looked right here like he wanted to take off with his first pitch to Horwitz. And he indeed was out.
Strike on Horwitz. He was fly to the warning track and walked.
And for De Los Santos, this is his 23rd game of the season, 23 1/3 coming into this contest. Only giving up 19 hits, along with 22 strikeouts. Mainly fastball, changeup, a little bit of slider, more so to the right-handers.
An OPS up to .851 for Horwitz.
Changeup right there from De Los Santos.
Strike 3 called and a challenge. Challenge
Pitch
coming.
is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. That's definitely a strike.
Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
But O'Neill Cruz launched the home run here in Houston. .6-4, O'Neill Cruz, the home run, giving the Pirates the lead. They had another one. And this Pirates pitching change presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change Service. You can see experts you can trust. Here is Wilbur Dotel.
Wilbur Dotel, 7th game for him, 13 2/3. Very nice ERA at 1.32 and 14 strikeouts to go along.
Cam Smith takes ball 1. O'Neill Cruz giving the Pirates the lead with his 3-run homer in the top of the 6th inning. 14th home run of the year. He's hit now 5 go-ahead home runs this season. And it's 2-0. Chandler goes 5, gives up 4 runs, 3 earned on 5 hits. His ERA up a tick to 4.89. A lot of work to be done, but hoping to get his first win since April the 17th. It'll be his 2nd win of the season. Look out, 3-0. Dotel pitched 3 shutout innings on Friday. Allowed 1 hit.
Yeah, the 2 walks from Bubba, encouraging today. Didn't see a ton of strikeouts, only 3 in those 5 innings.
Walks the leadoff man on 4 pitches. He had not walked a batter in any of his last 4 appearances, covering 11 innings. In his 2nd big league outing back on April the 21st in Arlington, he walked 3 Rangers in just 1 2/3, but he's been spotless since.
For Dotel against the left-handed batters, mainly 4-seam cut fastball and changeup. Against the lefties, I'm sorry, and against the righties, mainly 4-seam slider. He can get himself a ground ball right here.
Yes, he did.
I'm glad the home plate umpire took care of that. We didn't need to see
No. 0-2 count on Jake Myers. This is the helmet. Myers 0 for 2 tonight, 3 for 25 in his career against Pirates pitching.
That's impressive, Greg. Not a single left-hander has gotten a hit this season off of Wilbur Dotel's fastball, and righty's hitting .067 against that fastball. That tells you the kind of life he has on it.
Slider and a challenge.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
Myers seems pretty certain. Stood there automatically, immediately, I should say. But
Call is confirmed. Houston has
baseball
1
in the
challenge
zone.
remaining.
Dotel the strikeout, 1 down. 3 scoreless against the Twins, which followed his 3 scoreless innings against the Chicago Cubs on Memorial Day a week ago Monday. He got his first big league victory. That was a 2-1 win for the Pirates. He followed Carmen Mlodzinski. Mlodzinski had given up 1 run in 5 innings, and then Dotel took over, allowed 1 hit, no runs, didn't walk a man, struck out 4. There's Mlodzinski. Ground ball. 1, 2, double play. Wilbur Dotel. A walk, strikeout, double play. On to the 7th in Houston. Pirates baseball on S&P is presented by Giant Eagle, your home team for groceries, and by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Better score now here for Bucco fans in Houston, and where you are, 6-4 Pirates on to the 7th. Here's Brandon Lau against the lefty Stephen Okert. And a high pop. Bryce Matthews, second baseman. 1 away.
Yeah, Okert, 29th game for him, 26 innings, 3.46 ERA. Not a big strikeout guy, but has done a terrific job against left-handers this season. 172 against the slider and 143 against the 4-seam, and no hits against the 2-seam fastball.
Ball 1. Reynolds has walked, flied out, lined into a double play. One and 2. Okert was involved in that combined no-no down in Arlington. Houston Astros was on Memorial Day. 2-2 on Reynolds. He relieved Tatsuya Imai to his 6 hitless. There he is. '18th no-hitter in Astros franchise history, the combined no-no. Three and 2 on Reynolds. He's already drawn 1 walk.
Astros, Greg, have 2 foreign Asian-born starting pitchers in this rotation right now. One that we're going to see, I believe, the last game of the series, Kai-Wei Tang, and as you mentioned, Tatsuya Ime.
Called 3rd strike, and Reynolds will challenge.
Pitcher's called a strike. The batter's challenging.
1 more challenge left. Reynolds challenges the strike 3 called, and it is ball 4.
Calls on return. Pittsburgh still retains 1 challenge.
Second walk of the game for Reynolds.
So the combined no-no on Memorial Day. Imai started Okert, and then the rookie Alimber Santa finished up down in Arlington. Ended with the challenge. Strike called on O'Hearn. And there goes Reynolds. Oh, Reynolds.
Oh, terrific job.
Boy, I'll say it. He was motoring.
He sure was.
He's 5 for 5 in the stolen base department. Pirates, they've been the running Bucks lately.
Watch this jump. He gets the top speed really fast, too. I don't know if I've seen Reynolds move that quick in a while. Very opportunistic. Ryan Reynolds in the stolen base category. You don't see him go much, as Greg said.
5 for 5 this year.
And that's 3 stolen bases on the day for the Pirates. 3 for 3.
Tapper foul, check swing. O'Hearn trying to bring home Reynolds, leading 6-4. Pirates now have 60 stolen bases this season. Down on strikes. Brewers came in with 60 steals on the year to lead the league. You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games plus all of the Pittsburgh sports content you love.
They got the tarps up there and way up in peanut heaven in left field, Greg. What do you think about that?
Oh, you gotta love it. Do you love the tarps off or what?
No, not really.
No, you don't? Okay, good talk. Nick Gonzalez pulls one down the line and left. Well, he was hitting a couple of bombs in batting practice, and he's got pop, even though Sunday he hit his first home run of the season.
Nicky G aiming for that Crawford box down their left field line. Only 315 directly down that left field line, but
19-foot high wall there.
Oh, yeah.
There's Crawford boxes. .25-foot high wall. It juts out following after the manual scoreboard. No more Towles Hill. They took that out before the 2017 season. Center field. No man's land.
I'd venture to say
2-2.
That center fielders, especially the home center fielders, weren't shedding a tear when they saw that leave.
Yeah, it was 436 to center field from home plate. 90-foot wide grassy slope
with the
flagpole right there. 30-degree incline. And it's 3-2 on Nick Gonzalez. He's 2 for 3. 26 ribeyes and a steak on the table here. He draws a walk. And it brings up O'Neill Cruz, Penn West University educating you. Another 3-run homer we mentioned for O'Neill Cruz. And for him, that's 4 3-run homers on the year. The last Pirate to have that many 3-run homers in a season, Colin Moran, in 2021, hit 4 3-run homers, and we're 2 months into the season. Ouch. Home plate umpire Luis Kropa got it. Oh man.
Yeah, he's taken a couple today, a few off the mask, and
Luis Kropa.
This one did not feel good. There's a spot in catcher's gear up there that even if it hits the padding in the plastic shield, that it could sneak through a small little gap. And if it does, and it doesn't happen very often, you might as well not even have any protective gear on. That's at least what it feels like.
Now his colleagues come in to see how he's doing. A rookie umpire made his debut this year. Eric Velasquez is the new head athletic trainer. He's out there checking in, and there's another look. Woof. The assistant athletic trainer, Rafael Freitas, had been the Pirates' head trainer. Now the assistant here, they've made a bunch of changes over the winter, these Astros, including firing their head trainer, Jeremiah Randall, who'd been around for a number of years since he had been on the Pirates staff. So Cruz now facing the lefty Okert. 0-1 count.
I'd love to see the Pirates add on at least one more run right here.
Just fight one off the other way. Seen that from Cruz against lefties. Pickoff try.
Wow.
They're concerned about Reynolds.
Well, if you're going to try to sneak one in, I guess, with 2 outs and 2 strikes. It's a good time. I don't know.
Head scratcher, maybe?
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cruz now with 44 RBIs, 14 homers. A.J. Blueball up in the Astros pen. And to right field, and Smith is there. 2 left, 7th inning stretch, deep in the heart of Texas.
Earlier today, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Sheets volunteers packed 2,000 summer snack kits at PNC Park in partnership with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. Summer snack kits will be dropped off and distributed to local families at Arsenal Elementary and middle schools on Tuesday, June 9th. This program helps address a common challenge at the end of the school year when students lose access to school-provided meals. The Pirates and Sheets doubled their impact this year, expanding their effort from 1,000 to 2,000 of those snack kits. And the initiative, of course, part of the organization's ongoing commitment to supporting local families and addressing food insecurity across the region. And the entire month of June, Brownie, don't forget, the Pirates have teamed up with the Steelers and Penguins to support the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank.
Thank you, Hannah. As this ball hit to right center, nice jump. Mangum retires Vasquez. Nice play. Yeah, how could I forget that guy on the left, Matt Capps?
Oh, yeah.
He's unbelievable. We were out there yesterday. He was out there 3 different times, I think, today, he said.
Well, what's amazing to me is he's got a black shirt on.
He only went 2.86 despite that. I said, Caps, I'm fine. I went 12. So, yeah, no.
I think it was probably only, what, like 89 with 102% humidity?
Yeah, humidity wasn't too bad. It was 10 bad. Joe Block, of course, he can run 3 miles in his sleep. No, but it's good, great cause. 30 miles in 30 days in June. Raising money for the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. Hashtag Bird Proud.
Matt's Run Club.
Join Matt's Run Club. 1 ball, 1 strike on Pena. And a pop-up. Center fielder Cruz. Wilbur Dotel. There are great stories every year, and they had tarps off, trying to rally this Astros team. You know, to win, to have a winning season, playoff team, championship team, you need guys sometimes to step up out of nowhere. Before the season, you talk about MVPs, and here's the bullpen, Brian Abreu up, big righty. But then you have players that maybe a front office targets, as down the road they would be helpful in a starting or a relief role, but few, I think, had this guy on the list on the mound as being such a weapon so far, as a long bulk guy out of the bullpen. What he's done right now. It's eye-popping. Wilbur Dotel.
Just right at guys, just coming right at him.
He is going to have a 1-2-3 7th inning. Wilbur Dotel, 2 scoreless. 6-4 Pirates. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by AHN, official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. Picture perfect inside, 6-4 Bucks. And here is Endy Rodriguez. Big swing of the night, the 2-run homer in the second. Now facing Brian Abreu.
Brian Abreu, 2-pitch guy, 4-seam slider from him. Trying to keep this game right where it's at and utilize those last 6 outs for the Houston Astros. There's his numbers, 22nd game for him, 18 1/3 innings. ERA ballooned a little bit, still getting strikeouts. You just see those walks. That's what happens. That ERA will get ballooned if you're a bullpen guy and those walks are as high as they are.
Everybody wearing that number 4 throughout baseball. Players, coaches, broadcasters have the number 4 pin. All the broadcast booths in baseball tonight have the illuminated number 4 in honor of all those in the fight against ALS. And these number 4s on display, serving as a beacon of hope and unity. And we've got it in our booth. Number 4, Lou Gehrig.
Pretty cool.
Pop up. Center field. One out. And speaking of Lou Gehrig, we're going to stack the deck. Brought to you by the Baseball Card Castle in Cranberry. And that is a special card right there. The Sporting News Lou Gehrig all-time All-Stars. Courtesy the Baseball Card Castle in Cranberry. Stack the deck.
This might be a dumb question, but did they have baseball cards in the 20s and 30s, or all these
back in the day? Yes, actually, yeah, they did. Ground ball and a base hit for Mangum. He does that. I think it's hilarious, but he does the bat drop on his way to first on singles.
He's halfway down.
We've joked about it with him, and he is 4 for 4.
That was very Ichiro-esque, wasn't it, Greg? Take a look at this. Reaches out, slider on the outer half, and just guides it through that 6-hole. Now you get the threat of a stolen base on if you're Brian Abreu in the Houston Astros.
That's respectfully disrespectful.
Very much so.
Jake Mangum, a 4 for 4 day, appropriate as we honor number 4. Drive awareness to ALS. Mangum was picked off after his bunt hit led to a run in the 6th, but he's also stolen a base. Aside from a walk for Triolo in the 2nd, he has struck out twice. One ball, one strike. 1-2. There goes Mangum. Pitches a ball, and Mangum with another stolen base.
Count that as number 4 on the night for the Pittsburgh Pirates and 2 for Jake Mangum. They are off and running. Setting the tone in this first game against the Houston Astros, a 3-game set.
Are they ever? Two and 2. 3 and 2. Shades of the late great Chuck Tanner. There's Pirate skipper Don Kelly. Chuck Tanner, the Newcastle native, came over to the Pirates in a trade before the 1977 season. And the Pirates had been known as the Lumber Company for a number of years. And when Tanner came on,
the pitcher's called the ball. The pitcher's challenging.
One challenge left, so Abreu challenges it. The pitcher challenge.
You don't see the pitchers challenge all that often in this one.
That's
The call is
why.
Not
confirmed.
even
Houston
close.
has no challenges remaining.
You heard Paul Skeens recently talk about why he doesn't prefer to call a challenge, even if he may feel like it is, because you know you're moving, you're letting a pitch go, you're landing, your eyes are moving a little bit.
And if the catcher doesn't see it,
Right.
pitcher sure isn't going to see it.
I got to imagine that trend is going to continue.
Yeah,
as
pitchers
time
are going
goes.
to challenge less and less.
Yeah.
And now Horowitz with runners at first and second. Just to finish up that thought, when Tanner came on, Tanner had been the Oakland Athletics manager for a number of years, and he had them running like crazy. Well, the slogan changed from the Lumber Company to Lumber and Lightning going into that 77 season. And that's what the last few weeks have been for the Pirates. They're hitting home runs and they're stealing bases. 2-0 on Horowitz. We just saw Omar Moreno, or the Lumber and Lightning crew. The Antelope was at PNC Park the other day. Great stolen base leader for the Pirates for a number of years, part of that '79 World Series championship team. That's called a ball. They don't have a challenge left, so it's now 3-0. (3-1).
And you know, if you're Spencer Horowitz, Brian Abreu, all he's got is a fastball and slider. Take your pick right here. Pick one. If you're him, try to get it in the zone. Get that bat barrel out and see if you can do some damage.
Line foul. Moments ago, you see Matt Haig, the hitting coach. The steal for Mangum. Mangum 4 for 4 and a stolen base. He and O'Neal Cruz, only Pirates this year to have 4 hits and 2 steals in a game. Jake Mangum, 4 more steals for the Pirates. Mangum has stolen a base now in each of the last 3 games. Pirates had 5 steals on Saturday against the Twins. Another 3-2 pitch to Horowitz with 1 out. Another foul.
It wasn't that long ago that Brian Abreu was an upper 90s fastball guy with a lower 90s slider. And it seems to me he's slowing down a little bit. Velocity sitting around 94, and that slider mid-upper 80s. You better be pretty good with your location to get away with that in today's day and age of baseball.
And he fouls off another. Abreu got Rodriguez to fly out, but then Mangum steered that single to left, a walk to Triolo, following the stolen base. Another 3-2 pitch coming. It's another foul. Horwitz having some fun, and Christian Vasquez going to try and give Abreu a bit of a breather. You see Abreu winded.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, you obviously, yeah, maybe try to give him a little bit of a break, but he's either putting down a 1 or a 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Fastball or slider, so pick one.
That was just a timeout to give him a chance to catch his breath.
But still 3-2, 1 out. This is a big at bat right here if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates, trying to push this lead up to 3 or more runs going into the bottom of the 8th inning.
10th pitch of the at bat. Got him. A good trip there from Vasquez. Pitch ends with a strikeout for Horwitz. And Horwitz strikes out back-to-back plate appearances after going 46 consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout, which was the longest active streak in baseball.
Well, kind of interesting that Joe Espada's leaving Abreu in right here in such a big spot in the game. He must feel fairly comfortable. He's got 3 lefties down that bullpen. We've already seen Okert. But you have Josh Hader and Brian King. And there's a righty warming up down there now. So interesting plan right here. Let's see if the Pirates can take advantage. We know how good Ryan O'Hearn is. Or I mean, Brandon Lau is about as good as anybody against right-handed pitching in all of baseball.
Lau 0 for 5 in his career versus Brian Abreu might be the reason he's keeping him in there.
Sense. He reached back on that one, didn't he? 97 from Abreu.
He's been up for a while. Blue ball. Lau drives one deep to right field, and it hits the foul pole. Brandon Lau goes pow. Rings the bell. Clears the deck with a big cannonball. Might be the knockout punch. 15 home runs for the Pirates second baseman.
Well, change that stat pack, Greg. That's 1 for 6 for Brandon Lau.
9 for Pirates.
What a swing of the bat. That is huge. Look at him go in and get this pitch. Wow. He knows if he keeps it fair, it's got enough distance to get out. It's amazing how straight he was able to keep that ball on the right field line.
3-homer game for the Pirates. 15 homers, 40 RBIs for the Pirates second baseman. Yep. Take a look. Lumber and lightning indeed. The 2026 Pirates.
8 of 9 runs scored today via the home run for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, there they are. 2 of the 3 homers. Andy Rodriguez hit his first of the year.
The pitch is called a strike. Batter's challenging.
Another challenge from Reynolds, who had the walk last time up, thanks to a challenge. Oh, he's good.
Call's overturned. Pittsburgh retains on challenge.
Pirates top 10 home run team in baseball. What an incredible turnaround from a year ago.
Well, Greg, that calmed down the Tarps off squad. They were trying to will this Houston Astros team back into this game, and some of them are starting to hit the exits. There's still some baseball to play, but what a swing by Brandon Lau.
How about 2 of the 3 guys in the trade involving Burrows? We talked about the outset, and you talk about this offense, the change, the trade. Mike Burrows, the 3-team deal Houston sent prospects to Tampa. The Pirates send Burrows to the Astros, and the Pirates acquire Jake Mangum, who tonight is 4 for 4 and 2 steals, Brandon Lau, the 3-run homer moments ago, and Mason Montgomery, who the Pirates should not need tonight.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade.
9-4 Pirates. Ground control to Major Tom. Yeah. Bring out the cones, hoist them. Cruz. His 14th home run. Lau, his 15th. What a way to celebrate your 800th career game. And of course, Endy Rodriguez, his first home run of the season.
Oh, and who's to say Dotel doesn't close this whole thing out, Greg, if he's efficient?
Yeah, true. Why not?
He's out here now for his 3rd inning.
Two and one on Christian Walker. Wilbur Dotel has faced the minimum. He walked the first man he faced in the 6th. Pirates were trailing 2-0, 2 batters into this game. Bubba Chandler gave up a leadoff infield hit, and then Yordan Alvarez homered over the Crawford boxes, his 21st of the year. Endy Rodriguez tied it with Nick Gonzalez having reached in the 2nd on an infield hit, and with 1 out, Rodriguez homered. Initially, it was a triple. Pirates had the crew chief review, and replay showed it was indeed a home run. We'll recap what's happened so far in the game. Dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. Chandler went 5, gave up 4-3 earned. Burrows giving up 6, 5 earned in 5 innings for the Astros. O'Neill Cruz, 1 of the 3 home runs. Yordan Alvarez mentioned his homer. The Cruz home run came in the 6th.
Yeah, kind of an interesting finishing stat line for Bubba Chandler, right? But he was able to limit this Houston offense after that first inning, that 2-run first inning by the Astros to only 2 more runs. Now Dotel taking over for him from there.
And because of that home run by Cruz, he has a chance to get the win, Chandler. The Cruz home run changed the scoreboard. It was 4-2. That 2-run homer gave the Pirates the 5-4 lead. Insurance there from Lau moments ago, and now Paredes ahead of the count 3-0.
Yeah, no free passes here. Let these guys hit their way on from here on out.
Pitch walk following the pop out. See Don Kelly seated there in the Pirate dugout. Taylor Trammell was 0 for 3 against Chandler. There's a strike. Shout out to Liam Bonner and his family here. Pirate fans, a lot of Bucco fans on hand. In fact, many Astros fans have headed for the exits. Pirates have out hit the Stros 11-5. Trammell takes 1 ball, 1 strike. Pirates started the day in a 3-way tie for 2nd in the Central. Pirates, Cardinals, Cubs 5.5 back of the Brewers, with the Reds 7 games behind at the start of the day. The Athletics beat the Cubs 2-1 in Chicago. The Brewers win again. The Pirates need the W to stay 5.5 back. Cubs are now 6.5 games behind in the division. The Reds in 10 walked it off against the Royals. They'll stay 7 back. And the Rangers are beating the Cardinals in the 9th 7-4. Out of play. First of 3 with the Houston Astros, and tomorrow night Paul Skeens for the Bucks. And Spencer Arrighetti, who is having a phenomenal year. 7-1, 1.34 ERA. There's Skeens. First time in his career he's lost 3 straight. Jared Jones goes up on Thursday night. And then it's on to Atlanta. Great test for this Pirates team. Skeens there, seated next to Tyler Callahan. Still ball and 2 strikes on Trammell. Oh, he's putting up a fight. It's Wilbur Dotel. Another 1-2 pitch to Trammell. 2-2. Trammell traded over from the Yankees in November of 2024. Dotel signed by the Pirates. International free agent. Struck him out looking.
Perfectly placed slider right there.
That strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Dotel just 23 years old for the Dominican. You see 36 pitches. I'm trying to think ahead now. As Neil just mentioned, the way he's going. Might they consider letting him finish this up?
As of now, there is not a soul moving around in that Pirates bullpen.
Might have to get a quick out here, though, to have that happen for him to go out in the 9th. 44 pitches is high.
44?
April the 27th. It all depends on how he's feeling, what they see. And he's going to be shut down for 5 days anyway.
Yeah.
Empty pen for now.
And you got Monday off day. Pirates be going after the Atlanta series.
It's all looking more and more like Majinski is being saved for Thursday, where Jones would pitch. Tomorrow night, Skeens. 1-2 pitch. And that's out of play. Armin Majinski in the bullpen. Obviously not going to pitch tonight. See what the Pirates decide to do for the 9th. Two. Keep in mind, Dotel has been a starting pitcher the minors. Struck him out. Hello, Wilbur. 9-4 Pirates. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. What a job by Wilbur Dotel. 3 scoreless, hitless innings. 9-4 Pirates offense. 3 homers. Part of 11 hits. Now A.J. Bluba. You see most of the fans have headed home.
Bluba's numbers, 24th game for him, 36 2/3 innings. 4 home runs given up on the season by him.
Out of play. So Dennis Santana going to be pitching the 9th. Whoops. Just a bit upstairs. 2-2. Struck him out. 97. First out in the 9th. O'Hearn is retired on strikes for a second time, but on base twice in this ball game. Nick Gonzalez. A couple of big hits. Infield hit in the 2nd inning. 1 out later, Andy Rodriguez hit a game-tying homer, and he singled in the 6th following the O'Hearn walk, which preceded the Cruz home run that gave the Pirates the lead. They were down 4-2. Chopper, chance for another infield hit. Yep, and another ball thrown away by Paredes. Similar to the bunt hit by Mangum, Paredes threw it away, and he's done it again, and Gonzalez in scoring position. A 3-hit night for Nicky G.
This Astros defense, as I mentioned earlier, has been about as good as any team across the board in fielding percentage. And Paredes, he's made 2 errors on the night so far. And when you get a ball like this, as Nick Gonzalez is cooking that line, you want to just limit it. If you have an internal clock as an infielder, and if you think that a perfect throw is going to have to make the out, you just make sure that you don't do something to compound the issue.
Just his 3rd and 4th errors of the year. O'Neal Cruz is thinking one thing right now. Hit the ball to San Antonio. 0-2. He's having the year that the Pirates have been. Wow, how did that get boxed? That's a pass ball. What that was all about. It didn't hit the ground, did it?
I think it did.
Oh, did it? No. Oh, yeah. Oof. That had to hurt. Wild pitch. Infield in.
Infield in, yeah.
Well, despite that strikeout, time for the North Star Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game. And it is O'Neill Cruz. Base hit in the fourth, but the big home run changed it from a 4-2 deficit to a 5-4 Pirate lead.
And a massive swing of the bat at a big time in the game in that 6th inning. And of course, early in the game, that big swing off the bat at Endy Rodriguez in the top of the 2nd to tie the ball game up after the Pirates give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st. Contributions from everywhere tonight, Greg.
Yep.
Well, selfishly, I'd really like to see Jake Mangum get a shot at a 5-hit night.
Good thinking.
The elusive 5-hit night.
Yeah.
Come on, Andy.
Pretty deep to left field, approaching the wall, and off the glove and off the wall, and Endy Rodriguez into second base with an RBI double. Oppo, 10-4 Pirates.
Boy, this ball was hammered. I can't say I've seen a ball off Endy's bat to the opposite field as good as this, and a slider at that.
Oh.
Holy smokes. I mentioned how difficult it is for the left fielders to navigate that little nook out there. It might have been caught if he didn't have to take such a weird angle to get around that corner. But a great swing of the bat. Now, as we mentioned, Jake Mangum a chance to get his 5th hit of the evening.
Endy Rodriguez. Have a night, Buccos. 13 hits now.
Come on, Jake.
For his first career 5-hit game. Rookie last year with Tampa Bay.
Oh, and here's one for you, Greg. Go figure. Spencer Orowitz doesn't have a hit on the night. He's got a walk. Ryan Reynolds doesn't have a hit on the night. He's got 2 walks. And Ryan O'Hearn has a walk and a single on the night. 1 hit between the 3 of them. The Pirates scored 10 runs to this point.
Yeah, the Cruz, Rodriguez, Mangum, 6, 7, 8. Gonzalez, I should say, 5, 6, 7, 8. Combining for what, 9?
Yeah.
11 hits so far.
We talked about somebody stepping up and picking up a little bit of freight with Connor Griffin out. And Endy Rodriguez has answered the bell this evening.
Toward the line and left. Foul. Mangum, his first 4-hit game as a Pirate. He had 3 4-hit games last year with Tampa Bay. He had 296 with the Rays as a rookie. Out of Mississippi State. Full count. Struck him out looking. He's convinced it's ball 4.
Pitch, call the strike. Batter's challenging.
Well, this is going to be close.
Mangum challenges.
Oh,
It's all
Strike 3.
confirmed. Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
So he'll settle for a 4-hit night, and the Pirates need 3 more outs to win the first game of this series in Houston. 10-4 Pirates on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Andy Rodriguez on base 3 times, a couple of ribbies, and tomorrow it's Paul Skeens on the mound for the Pirates. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Looks like the Pirates will be carrying a 4-game winning streak into that game. Dennis Santana looking for the last 3 outs, but Jake Myers begins the 9th with a base hit and a double.
Valvoline numbers for Dennis. 27th game, 24 in the 3rd. 4.8 ERA. 19 strikeouts.
Santana faced 2 batters on Saturday and struck each out. Slider was looking much sharper. That's what really the Pirates are looking for, a crisp, sharp slider.
Those 2 good ones right there. Got ambushed by Jake Myers. Fastball in the inner half, that first pitch he threw this inning.
Come out. Fastball, 1 away. Bottom of the 9th. 2 more to get here, Bucco fans. Christian Vasquez. Ooh, get your attention.
Look at.
Strike. Vasquez, 1 of the 6 hits. Pirates have out-hit the Astros 13-6.
Well, and you couldn't draw this up any better if you're Don Kelly and the Pittsburgh Pirates. If Dennis is able to close this out on his own, to come off an off day, off a sweep, only use 3 pitchers, hold the opponent. This one's fouled way down there. to potentially only 6 hits on 4 runs.
Down 2-0 in the first inning. 2 batters into this game. And usually that's a very bad sign for the Pirates when the opponent scores first. We've talked a lot about the Pirates' record when they score first. There's ball 4. If they get 2 more outs, it'll be just the 5th time that the Pirates beat a team that scores first against them. They came in 4-17 in those situations. Andy Rodriguez out to talk to Santana. The Astros 20-11 this year when they score first in a game. Jake Myers there, Brandon Lau. So Espada, manager of these Houston Astros. Astros last year went 87-75, failing to make the playoffs for the first time since 2016, which ended a streak of 8 years, 4 American League pennants and a World Series title. What a run for the Astros. We said coming into this game, they played better. They'd won 7 of their last 10. The Brewers were just in town over the weekend, took 2 of 3. Opposite field base hit. Runner going to be waved. Mangum will throw toward the plate, way off the mark. RBI single. Pena brings home Myers. 10-5.
Backside ball from Jeremy Pena right here. An aggressive send of Jake Myers from second to third. Typically in these situations, you see him just go base to base, and especially with meteor order coming up, that would have been disastrous if that was a good throw to home.
Yeah, that was very surprising. Veteran third base coach Tony Pereschica. Well, Alvarez could make this a 2-run game. And a balk on Santana. That little movement. You hate to see a game like this end kind of ugly. So Gregory Soto, which certainly the last thing Don Kelly wanted to do was have to use his closer.
Yeah, even just him having to warm up.
Yeah.
And I always find it interesting, and I always kind of ask relief pitchers, you know, would you call getting warm in the bullpen even if you don't go into the game? Would you call that a quarter of an appearance, a half of an appearance? And the answer kind of differs, but
it's not nothing.
Yeah, if you, any chance you got the ability to keep your closer down, over, especially the early mid part of the season, is a good thing.
That is going to be an infield hit. 10-6. Still 1 out.
good swinging bunt.
Well, it becomes a save situation right now. O'Hearn trying to reassure Santana. Soto just getting up.
Dennis still one pitch away from inning-ending double play, or a game-ending double play, I should say.
That would be ideal. Christian Walker 0 for 3 in the past against Santana. Well, that is going to be it. They're just buying time for Soto. I'm going to have to bring in the closer. Santana gets 1 out, faces 5 hitters. Gives up 2 runs to this point, responsible for 2. And Soto coming on in a save situation all of a sudden. (10-6). Pirates lead it. But the Astros not going down quietly, and Dennis Santana not able to get 3 outs in the 9th. So now Gregory Soto is summoned.
Yeah, not what you wanted to see if you were the Pirates going into the 9th inning with a 10-6 lead or 10-4 lead. Valvoline numbers for Gregory, 28th game, 27 2/3, just under a 2 ERA, and those 32 strikeouts, and an impressive opponent average of .109.
He faces Christian Walker. Walker with 16 homers, 6th most in the league, in the American League, and his 43 RBIs tied for 2nd most. He's never faced Gregory Soto. Of course, you'd like Soto to wrap it up as quickly as possible to keep him available tomorrow. Nothing in 2. Stinson Garcia has the mini traffic cone on his cap. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Smallest cone I've ever seen.
Christian Walker, 3 of his 16 homers off of lefties. Struck him out looking, and Walker wants to challenge, but he doesn't have anything left. His team has already used up its allotted 2. Even if he wanted to challenge, he'd have lost it.
Gosh, you couldn't run that ball up from 60 feet 6 inches and place it in a better spot. You're Gregory Soto. Big pitch.
Look out.
Oh, my
Pirate dugout.
heavens.
Got in there in a hurry.
That got somebody. Isaac Paredes. Nothing in 2. That is the epitome of a wipeout slider right there, Craig. When you see a swing like this and you miss it by a good 8 inches.
0-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Gregory Soto for the Pirates to Isaac Paredes. And Soto says no toe to Paredes and raises the Jolly Roger. The Bucks have won 4 in a row. The long ball, Cruz, Lau, and Endy Rodriguez.
Yeah, a lot of contributions today. You mentioned the 3 home runs that led to the majority of the runs tonight. Bubba Chandler, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs given up, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The Astros pitchers, they walked 8, they struck out 10, but had 2 errors that led to runs. Pirates stole 4 bases, 4 of 4 in the stolen base category. You hated to have to see Gregory Soto in the end of this thing, but when he came in, he limited his pitch count and slammed the door shut for the first victory of a 3-game series here in Houston.
Boy, did he ever slam it shut. Faces Walker and Paredes, strikes them both out. O'Neill Cruz, the home run that turned the tables. Pirates were down when he hit that 3-run homer in the 6th, gave them the 5-4 lead, and they did not relinquish that lead. They trailed 2-0 going into the 2nd when Endy Rodriguez hit the 2-run homer. And Rodriguez, he and Nick Gonzalez, O'Neill Cruz, Jake Mangum, the 5, 6, 7, 8 men of the Pirates order 11 of the 13 hits. A 4-hit game for Mangum. And Don Kelly's Pirates improved now to 33-28. Winners of 4 in a row. And with Paul Skeens on the mound tomorrow night, Pirates starting to play some really winning baseball. We go down to Hannah.
Brandon Lau, first and foremost, congratulations on your 800th career Major League Baseball game. To have a moment like you did with your 3-run homer tonight in a game that signifies a milestone in your journey, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, honestly, I think just the stats aside, the home run aside, being able to say that I played 800 games in the big leagues, it's a pretty good accomplishment, you know, coming from where I came from and kind of given everything that I had to go through is pretty awesome.
It was certainly awesome to watch everything unfold tonight for this team as well. You obviously a big part of that. The home run, a big part of that tonight. 3 homers in this game, 8 of the 9 runs scored by the long ball. What impressed you about the power these guys showed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of the pure swings of them all. You know, they weren't that, 47 degree. They weren't these huge, long, changeable home runs. You know, Endy's was a line drive. And then Cruz's was an absolute missile that he just kind of always does. But it's just kind of just going out there, taking good swings, and the home runs being a result of a good swing. It's pretty impressive to watch.
Jake Mangum is a guy that you've seen up close and personal for a few years now. He always looks to you as a mentor in this league. To see him have a 4-hit night and what he's able to put together the past few games, he said he's felt more like himself. What have you noticed about his game? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing is just him understanding what himself actually is. I think understanding, just going out there, playing good defense, taking these, kind of grinder mentality at bats and not really trying to go up there and hitting that long ball like he did the other day, but, doing stuff like he did today. I mean, the bunt single, the backside hits, just kind of all over the place, just spraying the ball all over the yard and just being really pesky out there. That's what I always tell him. And those are some of the worst hitters to face, and he's definitely one of them that's up there.
Well, this offense certainly found a lot of ways to make a lot of noise tonight, but it seems pretty silent in here. Did you notice after your home run, the crowd started to leave? Things got real quiet in here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was you saw the tarps off section kind of deplete pretty quickly. It's just kind of the thing that happens. I hope the next 2 days are more of the same.
Brandon, we do too. Congratulations once again on your 800th career game.
Thank you.
Brownie?
Thanks to Hannah and to Brandon Lau. 800th career game, and that home run by the Pirates second baseman, the 3-run shot in the 8th inning. 15 now in the season, 40 RBIs. O'Neill Cruz hit his 14th. He has 44 RBIs. A 3-homer game. Endy Rodriguez, his first of the year. The Pirates have won 7 of their last 9, and they're in second place in the Central all by themselves. Yeah, they're running toward the top of the Central, perhaps. 10-6, more to come. We go back to the studio coming up next.